just a meal. It's just a meal. Hello everybody, it is me. It is Tuesday, July 21st, and today I was going to talk more about my food. So, do I diet? What do I feel about diets? What diets have I tried in the past? What do I do now? I just try to eat healthy. If there's something that I want or I'm making, I try to figure out how can I add healthy options. So I want to start by saying I have dieted in the past. I started dieting when I was a teenager, and I have done the Atkins diet. So that was like a big diet. I remember there was the book. My mom bought the book and I read it, and then I have lost weight. So when I was a kid, and I was always pretty thin. And then once I started getting puberty is when I blew up. So around before I started my menstrual cycle, I really blew up. So I remember at that time I grew up in New Jersey, and then we moved to Florida. So I remember being on these stairs that we had. It was like where they went up, and then there was a split level, and then they went up again. And I was sitting on that little level part, and I remember looking down at my legs and just noticing how big my thighs were, and I just remember being like, wow, like what happened? And then shortly after that I got my first period, and I never had a normal period. Right away I had problems with cyst bursting, and my cycle was never right, and I just gained all this weight, and it just seemed like it was so hard to lose it. And I did get picked on. I got picked on in middle school especially. I remember kids saying some pretty mean things, and the food component is huge, and I think it really doesn't take much either. I mean, you could eat really healthy all day long and you could work out, but seriously, if you were like, it just takes like one midnight snack, or I used to get those little fun chocolates because they'd be smaller than regular chocolate, and I love chocolate. But even something like that, it only takes like 3 or 4 of those fun-sized chocolate bars, and you've eaten like a few hundred calories. So that's taken me a long time to understand for some reason, which I think is funny. So in high school, Dr. Atkins, I did it. I had gotten up to 180, I think, something around there. And I remember I followed the Dr. Atkins diet for weeks, and I think I did it really unhealthy, to where I would wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning before school, and my mom had this like workout machine. I can't remember what it was called. It was back and forth, and it was like one of those ragey things. So that used to sit in our living room. So I'd wake up at 5 a.m. and I would drag that thing into my bedroom, and then I would work out for an hour as fast as I could go on it. So I'd shower, and then I eat like something ridiculous, right? Because I was really focusing on low carbs. So I would eat like some chicken wings that we had in the freezer, that I could have like 6 of them for 3 carbs or something, and that would be it. Or I wouldn't eat at all. And then I would never bring lunch. I had this really bad habit in high school where I wouldn't eat breakfast, and then I wouldn't eat lunch either. By the time I got home from school, I'd have like a throbbing headache, and I would be so hungry that I would just kind of go into the closet and I just still remember this, how vivid it is, just like grabbing anything I could find and eating it, because I was just so hungry. So I might be making something to eat, but then I'd be like shoveling food in my face. I wasn't like a binge. Like, I don't think I was a binge eater. I think I just, like I said, I wasn't eating at all. And so I was kind of missing those important parts of nutrition, where you should eat a healthy breakfast, eat a healthy lunch, give your body the nourishment it needs. I just wasn't doing that in high school. And then with the low carb thing, it got even worse. So I might, like I said, I work out for an hour, and then I might have like I just specifically remember those chicken wings being in the freezer. And then I go to school, and I wouldn't eat anything. And then lunch would come around, and I might buy like a bag of Cheetos. I think one of those little bags of Cheetos would be like 10 carbs, and I'd be like, there you go, 10 carbs. Or Doritos. In about 3 weeks of doing that, of working out all the time, I lost weight. And then at some point we moved, because I remember being in a new house and kind of continuing these habits. So then it became this thing where I would do the low carb diet, then I'd stop doing it, and then I'd do it again, then I'd stop it. And really what was stopping it was then I would cheat, right? So then I'd get so hungry, I would just gorge on whatever. Like ice cream was always a big one for me. I think I got down to like 163 pounds. So I only lost like 17 pounds. I got really sick like halfway through senior year. And I ended up in the hospital because a cyst burst. And so when that happened, they did the ultrasound. They found, oh, you have like a lot of cysts on your ovaries. And they sent me to a gynecologist. So then I started going down this woman's health route. So going to a gynecologist. So then I had to do the laparoscopy, the surgery, and then it came out of the surgery and he was like, you have Stein-Leventhal syndrome. So now they call it polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I really struggled after I was 17 at the time I got diagnosed in 99, and I struggled with it for years. So I had gained weight again. So they put me on this hormone treatment. Plus he was giving me birth control, because that was the treatment back then, was put them on go on birth control. And the birth control was too intense. And I was also on the Depo-Lupron, which is like a hormone shot that you take once a month. We had to go there and just like women's health specialist. And he had to inject the shot for me. And so I had gotten down to like 160 something, right? And I gained weight again. So then I ended up getting up to like 185. And then he was like, you need to eat like a bird and work out like the devil. I'll never forget him saying that. So I remember being like, dude, you just pumped me full of like elephant hormones and now you're telling me I'm fat. Okay. That was annoying. I do remember that. And then it never went back. So that was really the start of like up and down. So I low carb again, eating like broccoli and weird stuff and losing weight and then gaining weight and then losing weight. And because this is really about food. I have also tried the low carb diet in the past few years. And honestly, I think I just give up on dieting, but hold on, hear me out. I feel like there is research behind this. And you hear people say this all the time, they struggle to lose weight, that they go on a diet, they fall off. They go on a diet, they fall off. And so this is why I now I don't diet. What I do is the common sense approach. Okay, what do I need to maintain my health? How much protein should I have in a day? How much sodium should I have in a day? How much saturated fat? What's heart healthy? What's body healthy? And that's kind of how I guide my nutrition now. So I try to keep my sodium, I think like heart healthy is between 15 to 2,500, saturated fat about 15 grams a day. And so I really focus on those things. Plus, how can I get fruits and vegetables into my day? I wouldn't say that I'm like a clean eater or a whole eater, because I do eat junk sometimes, like, and that's going to be a whole other topic of crap we've been eating in quarantine. But I just try to do the best I can, and I just try to go meal by meal. I watch other weight loss channels or other YouTubers that are struggling with their weight, and they talk about this cycle where they start to feel crazy. And I like totally understand that, because I think it's a thing. Like, I have tried to count calories, and then it just makes me feel nuts. And I also feel the same way about just trying to follow like a really strict diet plan. And so I just try to look at food is food. And food is to nourish my body, to give me the vitamins and minerals that I need to allow like all my body systems to perform the functions that they need to keep me healthy and alive. And that is what food is for. Food is really fuel. And I always I love Michael Pollan, and there's a quote from him where he says, eat food, not a lot, mostly vegetables. And I really like that quote, because I think it shows how simple food can be. Like, food has become so complex, dieting and nutrition, and we have so much available to us if you live in America. And, again, if you're in a social and economical class that you can afford it. So there's a lot of other factors with that. So I guess my diet is the diet of my body. What does my body need to thrive, to function, to live? And that is what I do. I used to eat eggs every day, eggs, bacon, sausage, right? It was coming from this low carb. The low carb perspective totally messed my brain up, because I found myself saying, I can't eat a banana or like an apple. No, that has too much, that's too many carbs, but I can sit here and gorge on meats and cheese. And then that kind of made me realize, okay, well, how is that healthy, right? It's been a lot of retraining my thoughts around food. I've learned so much about the human body. I can't unlearn what I've learned about the human body in my program. And so that, I think that knowledge I've gained is really where I was like, okay, I need to eat to live. I need to eat for my cardiovascular health, for my immune system, for all my body systems, really, right? I need to eat so like all my organs can do the job they have to do, which is another reason why I want to lose weight, because I have noticed I've gained weight in my stomach, and that, you know, that area is, and again, this is like evidence-based. They know, like, if you carry fat around your middle, that is the fat that can, you know, cause more problems with your health than if you carry it in your legs or something. So all this stuff is what I use now. Yeah, so just to recap, no specific diet. Yes, I've tried them in the past. Yes, I got extreme with it. Yes, I had this weird mentality for years of low carb, and I don't like it anymore. More beans, so I stopped eating red meat as much. And so we started eating more beans, more fish, more white meat, you know, getting rid of not eating eggs every day, maybe having oatmeal, having cereal, but try to find healthier cereal, not just like sugary cereal. And then I kind of alternate that. I forgot to say some of the other ways that I do it. So other than just focusing on what I need to eat for my health, I've also found ways, how can I cut out? So I used to use butter a lot, try to use olive oil, even like that olive oil spray. I try not to exclude any food. I also think that when I exclude food, then it's like I become obsessed with it, then I want it, and then I eat it, then I feel bad, right? And then I think I blew my diet. So no, forget about that. I don't exclude anything. I really just, I don't eat what I want as much as I want. And that is really the bottom of it, bottom line to it. And the things that I really like, I use as condiments now. So I think before I said I'd eat a lot of red meat or a lot of cheese. And so those now I use sparingly, and I use as condiments. So if I make like a vegetable stir fry, I'll use brown rice instead of white rice. And then I use, you know, again, I might want to use a lot of sauce or soy sauce, but I don't. I try to like minimize that, and then I try to spice it with ginger and garlic and onions. Then I might use a little soy sauce as a flavoring, or even like meat. I might slice meat into it, but I do it really thin, so it's more like a condiment and not so much like the overall dish. Same with cheese. Love cheese. You know, I am Italian. Love lasagnas. Grew up on Italian food. So I used to love lasagnas. I don't make them that much anymore. That's, you know, I just don't do it. When I have pasta, again, level up, you know, whole wheat chicken meatballs instead of regular meatballs. And then the cheese, again, is just kind of a side note, right? A topping, if you will. And I play around with that as well. Like, how can I keep these things but not do them so much? And then if I have a meal that I know is going to be like a lot of, okay, I'm really craving a cheeseburger. Like I said, I'm still craving a cheeseburger. If I know, okay, I'm going to have this meal, it's going to be higher in fat, it's going to be higher in calories, then I'll just be really careful for the rest of the day. So I make sure like all the food around it is lower and healthier. And then I eat that meal, and then I try to just feel, okay, I enjoyed that. It was, you know, I don't think of it as I don't think of like cheat meals or cheat days. That stuff kind of makes me cringe. I don't want to have that thought. I think, again, I think I've said this before too, but God, our mental health is everything, and our thoughts are everything. And I'm going to go into a video about that. I'll consider them like, it's my fun meal, or like, you know, it's just a meal. It's just a meal. Ice cream, I had it. If I have it once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, right? I haven't had a cheese. I can't remember the last time I ate a cheeseburger. Then I'm just going to enjoy it because that's what I'm eating. Make sure, again, the rest of the day I eat pretty healthy, and then I just move on. And I say it like really easy, like, oh, I do it, it's no problem. It's not. It's still a struggle. I still like. We had our anniversary, recently, and we went and we got some takeout, and I felt guilty the whole time. Same thing. We've ordered pizza like twice in quarantine, and I have felt so guilty the whole time. And I try to just, every day, I try to fight these thoughts that are so deeply ingrained. So it's still a struggle. But I have to say, like I said, I've lost weight. I've lost weight slowly. I have lost like 19.5 pounds, and this is honestly all I've done. On top of it, I've, combined it with exercise, and it's pretty much it for today. I talked a lot more than I thought I would, and I have a lot more to say. But I would be interested to hear what have you done? So yeah, comment down below if you have like something that you do. Do you try to just eat healthy like me? Do you follow a special diet? Do you think I'm wrong? I mean, I'd love to hear it all. But thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.